Just when you thought the Sussex saga couldn't get any darker, any more desperate, or any more exploitative, Meghan Markle has reportedly found a new bottom. For years, we have watched the slow-motion car crash of their exit from the royal family. We've seen the interviews, the books, the mock curtsies, and the endless victimhood. But through it all, there was one line they claimed they would never cross: the privacy of their children. Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet were supposed to be off-limits. They were the reason for the move to Montecito. They were the reason for the lawsuits. "We want them to have a normal life," Harry told us. But now, that promise lies in tatters. In a move that has sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace and left the king physically sickened, Meghan is allegedly preparing to launch her children as the faces of her crumbling lifestyle brand. This isn't just a business pivot, it is a moral collapse. It is the new low that even their harshest critics didn't see coming. And the reaction from the royal family is unlike anything we have seen before. This is no longer about protocol or petty squabbles. It is about the commercial trafficking of royal heritage using innocent children as the bait. To understand why this is being called a new low, we have to look at the context. The Sussex brand is dying. The Hollywood dream is over. They are being dropped by partners, mocked by comedians, and ignored by the A-list. They are desperate for cash and desperate for relevance. And when a narcissist is desperate, they will sacrifice anything or anyone to survive. Sources close to the situation reveal that the plan to merch the children was born out of pure panic. American Riviera Orchard was failing before it even launched. The jam wasn't selling, the trademark was rejected. They needed a hook. And the only hook they have left is the two children they have hidden away for 4 years. It is a cynical, calculated betrayal of their parental duty. They are effectively saying to the world, "We couldn't make it on our own talent, so now we're going to sell our kids." The reaction from King Charles has been described as cold fury. For years, the king has held out hope for a reconciliation. He has kept the door ajar. But this move has reportedly slammed it shut. A palace insider claims, "The king is old-fashioned. He believes in the sanctity of childhood. To see his grandchildren being lined up like products on a shelf, it has broken his heart, but it has also hardened his resolve." There is talk of nuclear options being discussed in the corridors of power. Removing the titles, removing the children from the line of succession, nothing is off the table anymore. The king realizes that if he doesn't act, the monarchy itself becomes complicit in this tawdry reality show. He cannot allow the future of the institution to be sold as a buy one, get one free deal on a lifestyle website. Prince William's reaction is even more visceral. He and Catherine have spent their entire lives protecting George, Charlotte, and Louis from exactly this kind of exploitation. They release one photo a year, taken by mom, to satisfy the public interest, and then they let them be kids. They don't sell their image, they don't trademark their names. To William, what Harry is doing is a betrayal of everything their mother, Princess Diana, stood for. Diana fought the paparazzi to give her boys a normal life. Harry is inviting the paparazzi in, handing them a script, and asking for a check. William reportedly sees this as unforgivable. It confirms his worst fears, that Harry is no longer his brother, but a puppet in a commercial enterprise that will consume everything it touches. The new low is also defined by the sheer hypocrisy of it. This is the couple who preached to us about digital footprints and online safety. They launched campaigns about protecting children from social media, and now they are preparing to feed their own toddlers into the algorithm. It is gaslighting on a global scale. They are betting that the public has a short memory. They are betting that we will forget the lawsuits and the lectures. But the internet never forgets. The clips of Harry talking about his trauma from the cameras are being played side by side with the reports of this new reality show. The contradiction is so glaring that it is impossible to ignore. It exposes their entire privacy crusade as a sham. It was never about privacy. It was about control. They didn't want the press making money off their kids. They wanted to make the money themselves. The specific details of the merching plan are stomach-churning. We are hearing about Lily's little kitchen baking sets, Archie's garden tools, clothing lines, organic snacks. It is the commodification of every aspect of their childhood. Imagine growing up and realizing that your favorite hobby wasn't just a hobby, it was a product line. Your first words were a slogan, your birthday party was a tax write-off. This is the Truman Show nightmare that these children are being born into. And unlike the movie, there is no door in the sky to escape through. They are trapped in the brand. Their names are the brand. To disentangle themselves from it will require a lifetime of therapy and legal battles. The Hollywood reaction is also telling. You might think that Hollywood, the land of child stars, would be unfazed. But even there, this is seen as tacky. There is a hierarchy in Hollywood. Real stars protect their kids. The Clooneys, the Damons, the Roberts, you never see their children. It is the D-list reality stars, the real housewives, who merch their offspring. By going down this road, Meghan is cementing her status as a reality TV personality, not a royal and not a serious producer. She is admitting that she belongs in the same category as the Octomom or the Dance Moms. It is a precipitous fall from grace for a woman who once had tea with the Queen. The legal quagmire is another aspect that is shocking the royals. By turning the children into commercial assets, the Sussexes are opening a Pandora's box of legal issues. Are the children employees? Do they have contracts? What about the king's legal guardianship rights, which technically exist under an old law? The palace lawyers are reportedly looking into whether they can intervene to protect the children's image rights. It is a legal battle that could drag on for years. The Crown versus the Sussex brand. And in that battle, the children are the collateral damage. They will be deposed, they will be evaluated, their lives will be dissected in court documents. It is a tragedy in the making. The Sussex squad is trying to spin this as empowerment. They are saying, why shouldn't Meghan build a legacy for her kids? But even they are struggling to defend the new low. The cognitive dissonance is real. How do you defend a privacy advocate who sells her kids' privacy? We are seeing cracks in the fan base. The diehards will stay, but the moderate supporters, the ones who just wanted to see a mixed-race woman succeed in the monarchy, are walking away. They see this for what it is: greed. Pure, unadulterated greed. The financial desperation driving this cannot be overstated. Their burn rate is astronomical. The security, the house, the travel, the PR teams. They need millions just to keep the lights on, and the income streams are drying up. This pivot to the children is a Hail Mary pass. It is the last card in the deck. If this fails, they are bankrupt, morally and financially. And that desperation makes them dangerous. It means there is no line they won't cross. Today, it's organic jam. Tomorrow, what? A tell-all book from Archie's perspective? A live-streamed therapy session? The new low is not a floor. It's a trapdoor, and they are falling through it. The royal vault is closed. That is the message coming from London. There will be no bailout. There will be no trust fund release. The king is reportedly considering cutting them off completely from any future inheritance if they proceed with this exploitation. It is the ultimate sanction. You want to sell your royal status? Fine, but you won't get a penny of the actual royal wealth. It is a game of high-stakes poker, and Harry is playing with a weak hand. He is betting his children's future against the institution that has stood for 1,000 years, and the house always wins. Let's talk about the psychological impact again, because it is the most tragic part of this new low. Children look to their parents for safety. They look to them as a shield against the world. When the parent becomes the one pushing them into the spotlight, the sense of safety is shattered. It creates a wound that never heals. We have seen it with Michael Jackson's kids. We have seen it with the Osbournes. The content child grows up to be a damaged adult. Harry knows this. He lived it. He walked behind his mother's coffin while the world watched. He hated the cameras. And now, he is the one holding the camera. He is the one directing the scene. Smile for the camera, Archie. It's for the brand. It is a betrayal of his own inner child as well as his actual child. The global shame is palpable. The British public is disgusted. The American public is bored and cynical. The Commonwealth is embarrassed. The Sussexes have managed to unite the world in a collective cringe. This isn't modernizing anything. It is just grifting. It is the behavior of a carnival barker, not a duke. And the fact that they are using their royal titles to do it makes it a diplomatic incident. They are representing the UK, nominally, while engaging in behavior that the UK finds abhorrent. It is a diplomatic new low as well. The end game is approaching. This move feels final. It feels like the point of no return. Once you sell the kids, you can't unsell them. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. You have crossed the Rubicon. The royals know this. That is why they are shocked. They realized that the Harry they knew is gone. He has been fully consumed by the Hollywood machine. He is now just a co-producer of The Sussex Show, and his children are just the latest cast additions. It is a tragedy of Shakespearean proportions. A prince who sold his birthright for a podcast and now sells his children for a lifestyle blog. The Truman Show reality that Archie and Lila are living is perhaps the most disturbing element of all. Insiders describe a home life that is increasingly curated for the cameras. Playdates are reportedly auditioned. The garden is a set. The kitchen is a studio. When the cameras are rolling, the perfect family dynamic is switched on. But what happens when the director yells cut? Sources suggest a cold, transactional atmosphere where the children are managed by nannies and the parents are glued to their phones, checking engagement metrics. This is not a childhood. It is a production, and the children are the uncredited stars. They are growing up in a world where love feels conditional on performance. Did you smile enough for the photo, Lila? Did you hold the jam jar correctly, Archie? This is the subtle, insidious abuse of the content child. They learn that their value lies in their utility to the brand, not in their inherent worth as human beings. The gray suits in the palace, the courtiers, the lawyers, the fixers, are not sitting idly by. While the king is heartbroken, the gray suits are mobilizing. They are the guardians of the institution, and they view this new low as a direct threat to the crown's dignity. We are hearing reports of war room meetings where legal strategies are being hatched. Can they trademark the names Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet first? Can they enforce the Sandringham Agreement's clause about upholding the values of Her Majesty? Can they pressure Netflix to drop the project? The gray suits are known for their ruthlessness. They destroyed Edward VIII's reputation when he threatened the crown. They managed the Diana crisis, and now they have the Sussexes in their sights. They know that if they can cut off the commercial viability of the children, the Sussex business model collapses. The brand toxicity is spreading like a virus. It's not just that people dislike Meghan, it's that they are afraid to be associated with her. Major brands are risk-averse. They don't want controversy. They don't want to be dragged into a royal feud. And they certainly don't want to be accused of supporting child exploitation. This is why we are seeing the Markle effect in reverse. Instead of sales going up, they go down. Brands that have associated with them in the past have seen their stock prices dip or their social media flooded with negativity. The new low of using the children makes them radioactive. Even brands that might have been open to a partnership are now backing away. Who wants to be the official sponsor of Prince Archie's exploitation? It is a PR nightmare waiting to happen. The mommy blogger comparison is one that Meghan reportedly hates, but it is the most accurate one. She is following the playbook of the Utah mom vloggers, the women who monetize every diaper change and tantrum. But there is a key difference. Those women are not duchesses. They do not represent a 1,000-year-old institution. They do not have security details funded by taxpayers or formerly funded. Meghan is trying to have it both ways. She wants the relatability of the mommy blogger with the deference of the royal, but the public sees through it. They see a woman who is slumming it for cash. It is undignified, it is tacky, and it is ultimately unsuccessful because the mommy blogger audience values authenticity above all else, and Meghan is the antithesis of authentic. The future resentment of the children is a ticking time bomb. Imagine Archie at 18. He goes online and sees that his entire childhood was sold for parts. He sees the memes, he sees the products with his name on them, he sees the interviews where his father claimed to protect him while his mother sold him. The sense of betrayal will be profound. We are looking at a future where Archie and Lili could become the biggest critics of their parents. They could write the mommy dearest of the 21st century. Surviving Sussex, How My Parents Sold My Childhood. The irony would be devastating. Harry, who has spent his life complaining about his father, is creating a legacy where his own children will have every right to complain about him. He is not breaking the cycle, he is intensifying it. The Commonwealth backlash is also significant. The Commonwealth is a family of nations, many of which hold traditional values about family and childhood. To see a member of the royal family, even a non-working one, exploiting their children is seen as deeply offensive in many cultures. It reinforces the narrative that the Sussexes are culturally American in the worst way, obsessed with money, individualistic, and lacking in respect for tradition. This new low further alienates them from the global community that they once hoped to lead. They are becoming isolated in their Montecito bubble, disconnected from the values of the world they left behind. The insider leaks from the production are painting a picture of chaos and control. Staff members are reportedly being forced to sign draconian NDAs that specifically cover the children. There are rumors of mood boards being created for the children's outfits, ensuring they match the aesthetic of the brand. Lots of beige, linen, and muted tones. No Spider-Man t-shirts for Archie, no Disney princess dresses for Lili, unless it's a generic, non-copyrighted princess. Their childhood is being color-graded. Sources say that nannies are instructed to keep the children camera-ready at all times. This level of micromanagement is not parenting, it is art direction, and it confirms that the children are being viewed as props in a scene, rather than autonomous individuals with their own preferences and personalities. The title-stripping debate has been reignited with a vengeance. For years, Parliament has been hesitant to act, but this new low has shifted the political calculus. MPs are now openly discussing the removal of Titles Bill. The argument is no longer just about them not working, it is about them actively damaging the dignity of the titles. If Prince becomes a brand of dog biscuits, the title loses its meaning. The king is reportedly being advised that he must act to protect the integrity of the peerage. It is a constitutional crisis triggered by a marketing strategy. And the Sussexes, in their arrogance, seem to believe they are untouchable. They are about to find out that the British Constitution is stronger than a Delaware LLC. The American public has turned. For a long time, America was their safe harbor. But the new low has alienated even the liberal American media. The New York Times, the Washington Post, even People magazine are starting to run critical pieces. The grifter label, once limited to right-wing commentary, is now mainstream. Americans value hustle, but they despise hypocrisy, and they really despise people who use their kids as shields. The soccer moms of America, who were supposed to be Meghan's target demographic, are turning their backs. They see a mother who is prioritizing fame over privacy, and they don't like it. The new low has cost them the only audience that mattered. The Invictus contrast is heartbreaking. Prince Harry founded the Invictus Games to honor wounded veterans. It was a noble cause, but now he is using the same promotional tactics he used for veterans to sell his children. The moral dissonance is staggering. Veterans are heroes who sacrificed for their country. Children are innocents who have no choice. By blurring the lines between his humanitarian work and his commercial exploitation, Harry is tainting his own legacy. The Invictus community is reportedly uneasy. They don't want their noble cause associated with a reality TV family. Harry is risking the one thing he actually built himself for the sake of his wife's failing lifestyle brand. The future of the monarchy is secure, but the future of the Sussexes is bleak. The monarchy will survive this. It has survived wars, abdications, and scandals. It will simply cut the infected limb and move on. But for Harry and Meghan, there is no coming back from this. Once you have sold your children, you have declared that you have no boundaries. You have declared that nothing is sacred. And a person with no boundaries is a person with no future in polite society. They will be rich, perhaps, but they will be alone. They will be the Duke and Duchess of Dollar General, ruling over a kingdom of unsold inventory and broken promises. The WME panic is real. The Hollywood agency that signed Meghan is reportedly in crisis mode. They signed a duchess. They got a momager. Agents are tearing their hair out. They know that merching kids is the kiss of death for a serious brand. It puts you in the same category as the Kardashians, but without the business acumen. WME is reportedly advising Meghan to stop, to pivot back to philanthropy, to do anything but this. But Meghan, as always, thinks she knows better. She is ignoring the experts and listening to the echo chamber of her own ambition. And WME is left holding the bag, watching their clients self-destruct in real time. The security hypocrisy is the final insult. Harry is currently in court demanding taxpayer-funded security because he claims his family is in grave danger. He says he can't bring his children to the UK because it's not safe. Yet he is willing to broadcast their faces, their home layout, and their daily routines to the entire world on Netflix. Security experts are baffled. If you are worried about kidnapping, one expert notes, you don't put your children on a billboard. It proves that the security fears are selective. They are a convenient excuse when he wants to attack the UK government, but they vanish when there is a paycheck involved. It is the new low of using safety as a bargaining chip. As we watch this new low unfold, we have to ask, is there anyone left to stop them? The grandparents are cut off. The godparents are silent. The friends have been Markled. The children are alone on that estate, surrounded by staff and cameras, with parents who see them as assets. It is a chilling thought, and it is why this story is not just gossip. It is a warning. A warning about what happens when fame becomes an addiction and privacy becomes a commodity. The new low is here, and the only question left is, how much lower can they go? Media backlash. The global media has turned this saga into a 24-hour news cycle. Headlines range from royal exploitation to Meghan's merch madness. Talk show hosts dissect every product launch, while investigative podcasts replay leaked audio of internal meetings. The press is no longer merely reporting, it is amplifying the narrative, turning the Sussexes into a cautionary tale for any public figure daring to monetize family. Royal family's strategic response. Behind the palace walls, a multi-pronged strategy is unfolding. Senior advisors are drafting a royal brand protection policy, aiming to legally shield the crown's image. Simultaneously, a discreet outreach team is contacting key influencers to counter-narrate the Sussexes' actions, emphasizing the monarchy's historic commitment to duty over commerce. Confidential sources say a special counsel is preparing a private bill that could restrict the commercial use of royal titles by non-working members. Public opinion polls. Recent polling by YouGov shows a sharp decline in favorability for Meghan and Harry, dropping from 38% to 22% over the past 6 months. In contrast, the King's approval remains steady at 71%. Younger demographics, 18-34, are split. While some admire the couple's entrepreneurial spirit, A majority view the children's commodification as crossing a line. The data suggests a growing rift between the monarchy's traditional base and the couple's target audience. Long-term implications for the monarchy. Historians warn that this episode could set a precedent for future royals. If the Sussexes succeed, it may open the floodgates for other members to monetize personal assets, potentially eroding the mystique that underpins the crown's soft power. Conversely, a decisive royal response could reinforce the institution's relevance by demonstrating adaptability and commitment to protecting its heritage. Conclusion. The new Low narrative is more than tabloid fodder. It is a flashpoint where modern celebrity culture collides with centuries-old tradition. As the Sussexes push the boundaries of personal branding, the monarchy must decide whether to adapt, enforce, or retreat. The outcome will shape public perception of royalty for a generation, and perhaps redefine the very concept of royal responsibility in the digital age. Legal battles and royal precedents. The Sussexes' commercial push has already sparked a series of legal challenges. Lawyers for the crown have filed injunctions aimed at preventing the use of the titles prince and princess in any branding material. Simultaneously, Meghan's team argues that the children are private individuals, not public figures, and thus entitled to commercial exploitation under U.S. law. Court filings reveal a clash of jurisdictions: British common law protecting the dignity of the crown versus American contract law favoring free enterprise. Experts predict a protracted battle that could set a landmark precedent for how royalty is treated in the digital age. Future scenarios. What comes next? Scenario A. Royal clampdown. Parliament passes a swift amendment restricting the commercial use of royal titles by non-working members. The Sussexes are forced to rebrand, possibly abandoning the children-centric product line entirely. Scenario B. Market acceptance. Brands double down, seeing the controversy as free advertising. The children become a global franchise, spawning toys, books, and even a streaming series, further entrenching the brand. Scenario C. Public backlash escalates. Consumer boycotts intensify, leading to a collapse of the Sussexes' revenue streams. The couple retreats from the public eye, and the children are placed under stricter guardianship. Final call to action. The new Low is not just a scandal, it's a turning point for the monarchy and for celebrity culture worldwide. As viewers, we must ask ourselves, should the line between public interest and personal exploitation be drawn by the crown, the courts, or the audience? The answer will shape the future of royalty, media, and the very notion of privacy in an era where every moment can be monetized.